It's 12 midnight. Welcome to Nightline. I'm Raymond Goh. The headlines today. New Zealand terror attack. Bodies to return to families by Wednesday. One Malaysian killed while 6 others missing in Lombok's earthquake. And illegal dumping of chemical waste in Kim Kim River. Police have leads on suspect involved. We begin with this story. A Malaysian was killed while 6 others were missing following a deadly landslide triggered by 2 earthquakes in Lombok, Indonesia on Sunday. The Malaysians were reportedly among a group of 40 tourists who were at the Kelab Senaru waterfalls in North Lombok when the quake struck. Wisma Putra in a statement confirmed that it had received a preliminary report on the incident but did not reveal the name of the victim. However, national news agency Bernama in its report identified the dead victim as Sinchu Daily Deputy Executive Editor-in-Chief Datin Tai Siu Kim. She had been holidaying on the island with her son and a group of old schoolmates when the 2 tremblers, both measuring 5.4 and 5.2 on the Richter scale respectively, struck the island at 2:07 p.m. and 2:09 p.m. It is learned that Datin Tai's 20-year-old son was injured in the earthquake and is being treated at a local hospital. It also said 56-year-old Datin Tai's husband, China Press Editor-in-Chief Datuk Teo Yang Kun, is scheduled to fly to Lombok on Monday. The earthquakes had their epicenter 24 kilometers northeast of East Lombok in Nusa Tenggara Barat. New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern said some of the bodies of the victims of the Christchurch mosque attack would be returned to their families later on Sunday, as the number of deaths rose to 50 after police found another victim at one of the mosques. Ardern added that she expected all the bodies to be returned by Wednesday.
I can confirm that the bodies of those who have died are beginning to be returned to their families from this evening. It is likely, however, to be a small number to begin with. It is the expectation that all bodies will be returned to families by Wednesday.
She said Chief Coroner Deborah Marshall and 2 other coroners were working to speed up the identification process following news that premises had been made available for families to carry out cultural traditions. Ardern, however, said the nationalities of the victims was not yet confirmed. The Premier also confirmed that members of Parliament would pay tribute in the House on Tuesday. Meanwhile, Ardern also confirmed her office was one of more than 30 recipients of a so-called manifesto written by the accused shooter, sent 9 minutes before Friday's mosque attacks.
I was one of more than 30 recipients of a manifesto that was mailed out 9 minutes before the attack took place. It did not include a location. It did not include specific details. I'm advised that within 2 minutes of its receipt in at least my office, it was conveyed directly to parliamentary security. But the assurance I want to give is that had it provided details that could have been acted on immediately, it would have been. But there unfortunately were no such details in that email.
In the meantime, 34 people are still in the hospital, with 13 people, including a child, remaining in critical condition on Sunday. According to Christchurch Hospital Head of Surgery, Greg Robertson, all the patients would require multiple surgeries due to the nature of their wounds. Robertson explained the types of injuries they have seen are more general, saying there are more abdominal, chest injuries and quite a lot of soft tissue injuries. Meanwhile, schools will reopen in Christchurch on Monday, with the exception of Hagley College, which is acting as a welfare centre for the mosque shootings. Meanwhile, a Malaysian victim in the Christchurch mosque attack, Rahimi Ahmad, is showing positive signs and will undergo a follow-up surgery on Monday. Bayan Lepas Assemblyman Azrul Mahathir Aziz said 39-year-old Rahimi is still depending on a respiratory machine in the intensive care unit at the Christchurch Hospital and will undergo an operation to remove bullet fragments on Monday. Azrul also visited another two Malaysian victims, Muhammad Tarmizi Shoaib and Muhammad Nazril Hisham Omar, at the same hospital. Tarmizi, who was injured on the back, is also expected to have another surgery on Monday, while Nazril, who was injured on the leg and back, will need a surgical washout. As New Zealanders struggle to cope with the deadly mayhem in Christchurch, stories of heroism have emerged from the tragedy, including an Afghan-born Muslim who chased away the gunman armed only with a credit card machine. 48-year-old Abdul Aziz said he charged at Brenton Tarrant outside the Linwood Mosque when someone shouted that a gunman had opened fire.
He dropped his gun and ran, and I chased him. He sat on his car, and what I did, I had that shotgun in my hand, and I threw on him like an arrow. I threw the shotgun, and that shotgun actually smashed his window, and I could see him is frightened. Then he swore at me, and he just took off. I saw everybody was fighting, and everybody was fighting, and I told everybody, brothers, get up, he's gone, he's no more here. He's gone. Then everybody stand up, and then we know who's got injured and who's got who died. And actually, it was very bad time. You know.
Violent online games such as PlayerUnknown's Battleground or PUBG should not be blamed for extremist acts. Youth and Sports Minister Syed Saddiq Syed Abdul Rahman said extremists would carry out acts of violence with or without exposure to online games.
Percayalah ada ke tak ada game ke, kalau orang dah ada fahaman ekstremisme seperti itu, dia tetap akan lakukan dan laksanakan. Seperti tahun-tahun yang dah lepas bila tiada PUBG, tetap keganasan itu berlaku.
Syed Saddiq was speaking to reporters after the launch of Asia GT Festival at Sepang International Circuit, SIC, on Sunday. He said this when asked whether the government would ban online games with violent elements such as PUBG following the act of terror at two mosques in Christchurch, New Zealand last Friday. While Malaysia condemns the act of terror which claimed 50 lives, he said the world should not be quick to blame online games. So far, several cities in India have decided to ban the game after concerns were raised about its ability to influence people to act violently. Police have several leads on the suspect involved with the dumping of chemical waste in the Kim Kim River in Pasir Gudang. Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Muhammad Fuzi Harun said the effort to detect and hunt the suspect was being aggressively pursued, involving the cooperation of Bukit Aman and the state police.
Ada some lead lah, dan kita yakin usaha untuk mengusahakan suspek yang terlibat tu sedang kita perhebatkan pada ketika ini, dan operasi mengesan dan menjejak suspek yang berkaitan sedang kita laksanakan.
He was speaking to the media after visiting the victims who were being treated at the medic base Pasir Gudang Municipal Council's closed stadium on Sunday. Tan Sri Fuzi also urged the public to give their full cooperation to the agencies involved, including police who are handling security in the red zone area. To boost security at the temporarily vacated housing areas following the incident, he said police have stationed 3 platoons comprising 150 personnel to guard them. To date, 76 police reports have been lodged regarding the toxic fumes incident. Earlier, the Sultan of Johor, Sultan Ibrahim Sultan Iskandar, expressed his anger towards certain parties for spreading accusations that he is involved with a factory said to have caused the pollution in Pasir Gudang. Sultan Ibrahim, in a statement on Sunday, reminded all parties to stop politicizing the issue and urged the parties not to hoodwink the public over the weakness of those who were supposed to carry out their duties, but to instead focus on solving the problem. The Johor ruler also challenged those parties to show concrete evidence to prove his involvement with the factory. The dumping of chemical waste in Sungai Kim Kim has thus far resulted in more than 4,000 residents seeking treatment for symptoms such as nausea, dizziness and vomiting. In the meantime, the cleaning up process along 1.5 kilometers of the Kim Kim River in Pasir Gudang, Johor, which began on Wednesday following dumping of toxic chemical waste, was completed on Sunday. Energy Technology, Science, Climate Change and Environment Minister Yeo Bee Yin, however, said the authorities will continue to monitor the area to see if anything more needs to be done.
Proses pembersihan sudah disiap, tapi hari ini Sungai Kim Kim telah siap ya. Sungai Kim Kim telah siap, tapi hari ini kita nak tengok ada lagi tak? Ada lagi tempat nak bersihkan ke tak? So yang ni kita kena pantau ya. So hari ini kita boleh kata hari pemantauan. Ya, selepas pemantauan hari ini baru kita boleh tengok what is the next step, langkah seterusnya apakah yang kita boleh buat, ya.
Yeo said this to the media at the State Disaster Management Committee's operations room in Pasir Gudang on Sunday. Also present was State Department of Environment DOE Director Dr. Muhammad Ezani Matsaleh. Yeo said at the same time 30 teams comprising DOE members and chemistry department personnel were deployed to 30 schools around the affected area to monitor air quality by using gas detectors. She said all 30 schools were located 3 to 9 kilometers from the river. She added that prior to this, the DOE has monitored the air quality in different places and found the quality was at a safe level. According to Yeo, the DOE's coverage was extensive as the cleaning up of the river has been completed. Yeo also confirmed that the full report on the air quality will be made public on Monday. Meanwhile, the Johor Fire and Rescue Department has advised the public not to panic over the existence of hydrogen cyanide gas as a result of chemical dumping activities in the Kim Kim River. Its director, Dr. Yahya Madis, said the current reading of the hydrogen cyanide gas is below 2.0 parts per million, or ppm, which is considered safe. This compared to 4.5 ppm recorded in the Tanjung Putri area since March 7th.
Sinida ni ada dua. Sinida yang asli yang dijadikan senjata kimia dan sinida itu memang berbahaya. Sinida yang ni pun bahaya tapi ia adalah hasil daripada tindak balas bahan-bahan buangan. Mana kadang-kadang ada, kadang-kadang tak ada dan dia punya kadar tu pun biasanya tidak melepasi paras bahaya sangat.
Chemicals believed to contain heavy metal used to dissolve metal at a scrapyard and a chemical factory in Kulai were discharged into the Kim Kim River about a week ago. The action led to hundreds of people being treated for exposure to hazardous fumes. The move to launch the third national car project is to enable Malaysians to gain knowledge in automotive engineering technology. Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, in saying this, also raised concern over Malaysians' lack of knowledge in the automotive engineering industry.
People think that our cars are bad. Don't buy Malaysian cars, buy foreign cars. Don't go into third national car because it is bad. You see, you think they know the technology involved here? You see the engine just now? We know nothing about automotive engineering. That is why we are introducing the third national car to learn. Please learn to learn. Malaysians think they know everything already. They don't want this car because, it's a waste of money. They think they know everything about automotive engineering. They know nothing.
The Prime Minister was speaking to the media after launching the Asia GT Festival at the Sepang International Circuit, SIC, on Sunday. Tun Dr. Mahathir also added that China has made progress in a very short while because they went into the automotive business. Previously, Tun Dr. Mahathir reaffirmed his aspiration for the third national car project during his visit to Japan in June. He was also reported as saying that the government was looking at building National Car 3.0 after Proton and Perodua. Meanwhile, in a symbolic launch of Festival GT Asia, Tun Dr. Mahathir took a spin on Neo EP9, one of the world's fastest high-powered electric cars, around the Sepang circuit with race car driver Jaziman Jaafar.
Very thrilling. My heart rate went up to 140.
The Prime Minister then flagged off the Malaysia Speed Festival Saga Cup race, which pays tribute to his brainchild from the 1980s, the evergreen Proton Saga. He also commended the 71st generation Proton Saga, saying the cars sound like Formula One cars. Malaysia hosted its first three-day Asia GT Festival, which began on March 15th at Sepang International Circuit. Perak Menteri Besar denies rumour on Exco reshuffling. Stay tuned. Thanks for staying with us. Perak Menteri Besar Datuk Seri Ahmad Faizal Azumu has denied that there will be a change in the State Executive Councillor Exco members, especially involving portfolios from Parti Keadilan Rakyat (PKR). He said he was satisfied with the performance of all 10 Exco members in ensuring that the state-level administration functioned smoothly.
Setakat ini tak ada apa-apa, tak ada perubahan. Di negeri Perak ini seperti lazimnya pada setiap tahun Exco akan kembali mengangkat sumpah di hadapan Kebawah Duli Yang Maha Mulia Paduka Seri Sultan, dan sebelum acara tersebut saya akan mempersembahkan kembali kepada Kebawah Duli Yang Maha Mulia untuk baginda perkenankan senarai barisan Exco. Dan jika diperkenankan, tentunya barisan Exco ini akan dilanjutkan tempoh perkhidmatan mereka.
Datuk Seri Ahmad Faizal, who is also the Cenderiang State Assemblyman, also urged all parties, including the opposition, to stop spreading negative news regarding the state's administration. The Tambun MP was commenting on rumours that there would be changes to the Exco seats held by the Perak PKR, especially after the party's elections last year. He said this to reporters after officiating the Sekolah Agama Rakyat Al-Junid Sports Day in Chomor on Sunday. In Sabah, more than 100 Kampung Air Sandakan residents were made homeless after a fire destroyed 32 houses that started at about 5:20 a.m. Sunday morning. According to the spokesperson, the fire destroyed about 0.8 hectares of the area and one man was injured. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. Over in Johor, 2 housewives pleaded not guilty at the Johor Bahru Sessions Court on the charge of concealing money belonging to 3 individuals amounting to 35,000 ringgit in a bank account in 2017 on Sunday. They are charged under Section 424 of the Penal Code, which carries a maximum penalty of 5 years jail or fine or both upon conviction. The court allowed bail of 20,000 ringgit and 10,000 ringgit respectively and fixed April 2nd for mention. In Putrajaya, 2 male suspects who disguised as Home Affairs Ministry officers were released on bail by the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission on Sunday. They were arrested at the Awan Besar R&R after allegedly asking for a bribe to issue a quota approval letter from the Home Ministry. Magistrate Muhammad Bukhari Mat Roslan issued the order after the 4-day remand on both suspects ended. Meanwhile, in Kuala Lumpur, the Immigrations Department has raided 4 massage parlours in Setapak in an operation that involved 27 officers on Sunday. 45 foreigners and 5 locals were arrested for several offences, including the misuse of social visit passes, overstaying and having no legal documents under the Immigration Act. The case is currently investigated under the Anti-Trafficking in Persons and Anti-Smuggling of Migrants Act, ATIP-SOM. Coming up after the breather, deadly floods kill at least 58 people in eastern Indonesia. On to the foreign front now. Flash floods and landslides triggered by torrential rain in Indonesia's easternmost province of Papua have killed at least 58 people, injured dozens of others and displaced more than 4,000 on Sunday. According to the National Disaster Mitigation Agency, a search for more possible victims was underway in the town of Sentani. which is one of the hardest hit areas, with a death toll of 51 people. Some 150 homes were still inundated at Bintang Timur residential area in Sentani. The agency said heavy rains also caused landslides in the nearby provincial capital of Jayapura, killing 7. The flooding also destroyed roads and bridges, hampering rescue efforts. Data from the flight data recorder, more commonly known as the black box of the crashed Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302, have been successfully downloaded for analysis. According to France's Bureau of Investigation and Analysis for Civil Aviation Safety, or BEA, the downloaded voice document has been sent to Ethiopian investigators for further action. Ethiopian Transportation Minister Siraj Fagesa said all sides are making utmost efforts to make an accurate judgment on the accident, but it may take a long time. The black box of the unfortunate flight was recovered on March 11th and was sent to BEA for data retrieval at the request of Ethiopian authorities. The central part of the black box, which is actually orange, were found to be intact, although mangled elsewhere. Formula One action wraps up Nightline this time around. We leave you with visuals of blooming flowers in southwest China, which has attracted a large numbers of visitors. Why? Perhaps it's therapeutic. Enjoy this. With that, I'm Raymond Goh. Thanks for your company.